Good morning, good evening, Megan Mitchell. It is Tuesday, January 13th, and as promised, I am continuing my discussion on leadership and how to be a better leader. Last week we talked about motivational leadership, and today I want to talk about shifting from motivation to inspiration and why that's important. You know, motivation is sometimes more gained from external stimuli and things like, you know, a day off, getting a bonus, a deadline, things that might be based on fear or pressure, whereas inspiration is more of an internal driving force. And it's important. I read an entire article about why it's important to move from motivation to inspiration and to set the correct environment for people to gain their own drive and inspiration. The first part that it talked about was creating a clear purpose and really defining what the external and internal values are in whatever it is that you're involved in, whatever the company is or whatever the organization is. And Ash has been very clear throughout this whole journey about us having a larger purpose than just gaining for ourselves. How are we going to make a bigger impact on the world? He's been very clear about communicating that overarching goal, and I think that's one of the reasons why many of us are so drawn to this organization in Victory with Ash and in our past journey, because there's a bigger picture. Others may not understand that, is that we feel it. We know that there's more than just our own personal gain. Not that we don't hope for our own personal gain or know that that is part of the bigger picture, but we need to remind our teams and our circles and our people that there's a bigger picture, you know, the why, the values. The second way that we can create an inspirational leadership environment is to tell real stories. Why is this important? People connect to things that are real. People don't connect to grand, fake, perfect scenarios. People connect to things that are, you know, relatable. And so we can tell stories to our teams and to our circles about our own successes and our own failures, our own stumbling blocks. We see this in our Victory with Ash community. We see this. Ash has been very transparent about things that have happened along the way, about the wins and some of the valleys that we have experienced. And he's been very candid in sharing that with us. And that helps us to connect with him as a real person. That helps us to connect and to feel more aligned with the bigger picture. We see this in our own community. We see people like Comfort. She's sharing her struggles and her journey in the past year. She wrote a book. This is very, very common. This makes you relatable if you show people that you are a real person. The third way that we can help inspire people and instill our own intrinsic motivation is to let them lead. And this goes back to very similarly the motivational leadership style of autonomy. But letting people lead and allowing people to develop their own ways of solving problems and working things out on their own gives them confidence and builds more stamina for the overall journey. Ash has done this with us. You know, everybody wants constant feedback. We all want constant affirmation. But Ash is increasingly trying to give us ways to show autonomy and to show that we will step up and solve some of our own problems. And there's others, but those are the three that I think are most important, is, you know, just helping people see the bigger picture, creating an environment that really allows people to be inspired to do something, not to be motivated by a deadline, not to be motivated by only their own personal gain. Not that that is not part of the bigger picture, but to really connect to their values and to the mission, the overall mission, and to repeatedly remind them what the bigger picture is, because sometimes we lose sight of what we're doing this for. I hope this is helpful. I hope you will share some of these things with your own circles and your own teams, and help them to inspire others and to pass it on. Have a blessed Tuesday.